In this episode, I'm going to reveal the secrets to some of the coolest magic tricks that will amaze your friends and completely blow their minds. Are you ready? I'm Jonas Jost. Let's magish.
Magical cheese and bacon. Check this out. Let's see how magical it is. Whoa! So, here's the explanation to the magical floating bread roll. All you need is a bread roll, and you can do this at the dinner table. That's kind of the best place to freak out your family and friends, or a barbecue or anything like that. We need a napkin. It can be a paper napkin, but I like cloth napkins the best because they're a bit bigger. You need a bread roll, and the secret to this trick is one of these. That's right, a plastic fork. Dun, dun, dun. You can use a real fork, doesn't have to be plastic, but plastic is a bit lighter, and if you've only got plastic at like a garden party or barbecue, then this is what you want. Now, here's how this works. I hold the fork behind the cloth like that in my right hand, so you can set it up on the table like that. Nobody knows there's a fork in there. That's really important. You go to lift up the cloth, one on each corner, one hand on each corner, and you lift up the fork at the same time. Now, to show the cloth empty, you put the fork behind your arm like this, and then you can show the cloth empty. Ta-da, nothing there. Put the fork back behind the cloth like that, and you're good to go. Drape the cloth over the bread roll, and all you do is you stick the fork into the bread roll, and you are ready to levitate and do magic. Watch. Then you've got to animate the bread roll a little bit, like it's flying. Whoa, amazing. Sometimes if you don't poke it enough, it'll actually fall straight off the fork, so you've got to kind of poke it properly. And you can actually make it float right up and say hello over the edge, but make sure you don't go too far, because then you'll see the fork. And then to bring it back down for a landing, bring it back down onto the plate. Usually I just put my hand onto the bread roll a little bit and go, that was amazing. Pull out the fork, lift up the cloth in one go, fold up the cloth with the fork still inside, and you're clean, and you're ready to actually eat your meal. This is the magical dancing hanky. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop right there. How do you make a hanky dance? Put a little boogie in it. That's right. Okay, that was terrible. So, for the trick. When you're sick and you've got one of these, or when you just need to blow your nose, all you need is a little hanky. And you can make them stand at attention. Perfect. Now, you need a little bit of thread. Silly, but you can play dead. Back up. Nice. It's the magical hanky. It's really easy to do. So, no more terrible jokes, I promise. You just need a handkerchief or a napkin, paper, whatever. Doesn't matter. And you make it stand to attention like that. Hold it in one hand, pull it up a bit. And I pretend to take a bit of thread from my jacket. Really, I'm not doing anything. You can pretend to take one of your hairs, attach it, and all you're doing is you're pretending to pull while your thumb actually just goes down like that, and it bends the hanky over. But it looks kind of neat because you're pulling an invisible thread, and it looks like you're pulling the hanky. And it looks like there's an invisible force. Or you can name the hanky Jimmy, and you can kill Jimmy with a gun. Wake him up, make him stand up again. It's really cool. It's the magical moving handkerchief. Oh yeah. Make sure that nobody sees what you're doing with your thumb. That's important. So you want to do it kind of from the side so that they can't see your thumb moving. That's important. Enjoy that one. Very easy to do. This trick is mind-bendingly good. Check it out. One playing card. Amazing, right? I know. So here's the secret to the mind-bending card trick. It's pretty much like the last trick we did with the hanky where it moves, except we're using a playing card, a very special gimmicked playing card. This card actually has another piece of card taped to the back with a little bit of tape. So this is, you don't see that from the back, and if you ever show the back, you just show it really quickly. So it looks like there's nothing there. You're just using your thumb, you're pulling with your thumb, and actually when the thumb pulls the back card, the back piece of card, it bends the card. You've got to act a little bit, making it look like the card is bending to your will and bending back again. You've got to make sure you don't do this in an angle because people know exactly what's going on. But it looks really kind of cool, or you can do this if you want. It's a really easy trick and very easy to make, so let me show you. I've got two playing cards. You can use whichever cards you like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use the two of hearts, and for the back, I'm just going to use some safety scissors, very important. Get a parent to help you otherwise. If you're not familiar with using scissors, that's quite important too. And we're just going to cut a thin strip out of the middle of the card. We don't need the two other pieces, they can go, we just need the piece from the middle. Now we're going to lay the piece from the middle exactly onto the middle, matching the other playing card, so it's kind of difficult to see that we've got this extra piece there. And we just need a piece of tape. I'm using invisible tape, which kind of goes a little bit more invisible than normal sticky tape, but any sticky tape will do the job really. And that just goes on top of the two pieces, gluing the top half onto the top card, the top piece I should say, onto the other card. Try and get it as aligned as you possibly can. That way it hides nicely. And then fold that over and glue it nice and smooth. This one didn't end up very smooth. You can see there's a little bump in the sticky tape. You don't kind of want that. You want it to be nice and smooth like this one where there's no bumps. So I may have to do that one again, but that shows you how to make it. You want it really nice and smooth so you can't see any bumps in the tape. Now I usually show it like this first, covering the tape with my fingers, and then I turn it over, and when I'm ready to go, put my hand on my head like that on my temple and pretend like my mind is bending the card, but really you're just pulling it back with your thumb and back again. It's a super cool trick. Your friends and your family are gonna love this one. This is really cool. Watch the torn and restored card trick. Rip it in half once, and then rip it into quarters. Show you all the pieces. Okay. Cover all the pieces in a napkin. Give a little twist. And a blow, and hopefully, if everything's gone to plan, we should have fixed playing card. Nice, right? Awesome. Okay, so the explanation for the torn and restored card trick is very simple, but you do need to learn a little bit of sleight of hand and a little bit of misdirection for this trick to get it right. So, we need two identical cards. That's how we start off with. Doesn't matter what card you use, but they have to be exactly the same. We're going to prep one card by folding it into quarters, not tearing it, just folding it. So you end up with a little corner like that. That goes on the back of this playing card. So when you go to show everybody the card, you're showing them this. Very simple. Nobody's allowed to see that you've got the other card there, that corner. So then we go to tear the main card in half, still keeping that little corner behind the card. We rip again those two pieces into quarters. Now you can actually show these pieces pretty freely because it just looks like you've got pieces of card everywhere. Now we want to swap so that the fixed card, or the whole card, is facing away from us and the other little pieces are facing towards myself or towards yourself. Then you cover them up with a napkin. You can clearly show that this napkin is empty, there's nothing in there. You cover this up. But what you're actually doing at the same time now is your right hand takes away all the ripped up pieces. So underneath, if I pretend to cover it up, your right hand actually just takes out all the ripped up pieces and just leaves the whole piece there, which is covered by the napkin. So all the other pieces are in your hand. You scrunch them up a bit and you can hold the napkin to cover that you've got those pieces in your hand with the right hand that's holding all the pieces, so they don't suspect anything. Then all you need to do is place the napkin down, or like I did, you can give it a twist and a magical blow just to do some acting for the trick, and the card should have magically restored itself and you can unfold the card. Now if you actually, if you had a table, you can actually ditch the pieces behind the table, or when you hand out this card for everybody to look, you can actually ditch the pieces in your pocket. But that is a tricky move and it only works if everybody's looking at this card. So check it out. It's a great little trick. Enjoy, but practice it. This is a cool card trick. Use any deck of cards. Let's see if we can get it to happen. Check it out. We're going to use the Queen of Hearts. Now watch the Queen. This is super cool. All you do is give her a little shake. She actually turns straight into the Ace of Spades. Pretty cool, right? So here's the setup to the secret of the changing card trick. This is such a great trick. It blows people's minds and it's really visual, so everybody loves it. You need a deck of cards, and here's the preparation. You get the two cards you want to use. I use very different cards if I can. I use the Queen of Hearts and the Ace of Spades because they look completely different and you can visually see them changing. So the Ace goes on the bottom, I suppose, the second card from the top, and then the Queen goes on the top. Now, we turn over, in my left hand I hold the cards in one packet, we turn over just the top card to show them that's what we're using, the Queen of Hearts. Here's the secret move. I'm going to use my thumb to slide off two cards, and you square them up, picking them up together between your middle finger and your thumb. That's how you hold them, and you give them a little bend. That way they stay together. Don't show them the back of this card because you're holding them together. If you don't bend them, sometimes you can see how it pops apart. So you give them a little bend using your pointing finger, your index finger, and that way they stick together. All you have to do is, in fast motion it looks like this, and it looks like it changes, but in slow motion it actually just looks like this. And you literally just flip the card over using your fingers, shaking the card. If you don't shake the card, you'll see exactly how the trick works. But as you shake it, you can actually keep just changing it from one card to the other. And it looks super cool. Such a visual trick. Now to finish the trick off, you put both cards back on the pack and you take off just the top card showing the back and the front. And this will really blow people's minds because it looks like you've got some really serious card manipulation skills. So there you have it. You've learned some super cool tricks. If you haven't already, hit the like button to the video, subscribe to the channel, and we are going to see you in the next episode for another whole load of super cool magic tricks that you can do at home to impress your friends and your family.